Another dark log from the diary of a graver named John Weaver would just be. Well, it's the 15th of January 2026. And it's about 4:03 in the morning, West Coast time. Still in shock what happened yesterday when I was watching some stuff on YouTube in Minneapolis. Bovino and his characters were also doing more shootings again. I caught up on a tail end, or almost on a tail end, of videos on two channels, but nearly the same area. I think it's the same area in Minneapolis, where they reported another bystander gets shot. I don't know if they lived or not. They had to be transported to the hospital. Crowd was going ape. Man, were they going ape. They moved in a different area along a street trying to catch they call him an El Salvadoran. But somewhere in the process of a confrontation between protesters and the belligerents that we call our federal agents, someone got shot. Of course, they're going to be talking about it all day long. It's the days wear on. It's getting harder and harder to deal with these guys who are attacking and freaking and shooting people. Doesn't take them long to get the new blood on the street getting into problems because they lack the training, seasoning. And apparently law enforcement officers are being targeted in the anger from the crowds because they're getting caught in the middle. A long time ago, well, many occasions I think, we've had law enforcement having their own issues without the feds getting caught up in all the diatribe and drama. When they also did their own murders back east. If somebody got harangued or in a chokehold or having their neck down there busted and their neck. In one particular area came close to it in Minneapolis. You heard of George Floyd, remember, several years back. Yeah, people don't forget that much either, especially when there was national protesting against his death, protesting against a city that allowed cops to capture an innocent guy and killed him on the street just by holding him down, denying him care, and also getting the EMS involved in the murder. It's public record. It's public record on this. And it's horrifying. It's horrifying because now we've got law enforcement again caught up in the middle, but this time these guys are trying to be the buffer between the federal and the protesters. And they're getting their ass kicked. Hard enough to be a cop without the federal government jumping on your ass. Or the federal government trying to murder your ass. See, we hadn't had these times in our lifetimes, in our memories. Some of the stuff we rebelled against back in 1776 when we had a foreign country, or the country we were splitting from, their army doing everything else that ICE is doing. Busting into your home, arresting you for nothing. just to bust in your home to terrorize your ass. That's what ICE is doing. If you're colored skin, didn't matter what shade, you're open season to these schmucks. Driven by the anger and hatred of the people we voted in November 2024. See, the independents are not saying this shit. Neither is the corporate media. We did this to ourselves. We got these people back in office. We already had the taste of these schmucks back in 2016, but they didn't go this far. They wanted to, but they were held back. They were held back. Not this time. Not this time. And with the same mentality, we have our country under threat of war again. Caused by a guy who kept claiming he is anti-war, and yet he isn't. He's anti-war only when you feed his ego and his gut. And not just Burger King or McDonald's shit. No. He's after more. And because he's got a willing and complicit Congress to help him with shit, this is what we're dealing with, guys. This is what we're dealing with. And we voted it in November 2024. We got a chance this year, months from now, to maybe, just maybe, make the elections legitimate enough where we can get the Democrats back in both House and Senate and put these guys on notice. We had an opportunity in the Senate to have the War Powers Act limit the old gas bag's ability to raise war without the Congress. Apparently, Congress doesn't want to get involved in it because the Senate overruled. There was a 50-50 tie vote, split upon party lines. They want to give Trump the power to declare war on people. The Republicans do. The Trumplicans. I had to keep reminding it that they're no longer Republicans. They are the followers of Trump. They are the ass kissers. And these are the guys that are going to be in trouble when they lose their seats. In the House, it's precarious that some of these seats are getting vacated. And Speaker Johnson can't even find in the majority enough to hold on what he's got, but he's the perfect ass kisser for Trump right now. A supposed Christian who's doing the good values by harming people every which way he can, just to enrich himself and lie to the people left and right. How does he sleep at night, I wonder? Meanwhile, articles of impeachment have already been introduced into the House of Representatives. The Democrats are going all out trying to put the Homeland Secretary Queen on notice that her time's coming short. If only we could do that to the Deputy Chief of Staff and the Chief of Staff. But we got to go through the gas bag for that one. So we'll settle for Noem, and then maybe we can go after Hegseth, get his ass going. But then again, they've already got their own clones set up, don't they? It was funny about the FBI, though. You get two podcasters in the government to run the FBI. The assistant didn't have any law enforcement experience, and theoretically Patel had some experience as a law enforcement officer. And he's making mistakes left and right. Every time I keep seeing pictures of him when he's up on the Capitol Hill, He's got this look in his face of pure terror. The independent producers out there, the content creators of their own shows, they're having fun over that. They have a chuckle over it. And I keep looking at this guy and thinking, this guy has the earmarks of a Fed? Give me a fucking break. His whole mouth. And he's trying to be a tough guy. But actually, he's living off the fat and living off the hog and hopefully getting his ass reamed. But who's this going to be second in command now, I wonder? His second in command was a podcaster. And now he's back at his podcaster because he can't deal with barely a year in the job of being an assistant FBI director. So it's getting crazier, isn't it? What's even worse is when the staff of the Trumplicant, or should I say the old gas bag himself, he's still pushing for Greenland. He's already got NATO rattled. Maybe that was the case. Maybe that was just a general point to rattle NATO's case. It's bad enough you got Putin knocking on their doorstep, and now you got the United States. Are we doing a 2-for-1 on NATO? Putin on one side, Trump on the other? Those two are made for each other. And Trump wants what he wants. He just wants to own something. He wants to own Greenland. Hell, he's got enough money made already. You should just buy the damn thing outright. But you can't do that, can you? The Danes will not sell off and give or any way let loose Greenland to anybody, even to Trump. That's hands-off territory. Trump can put bases on there if he wants to, make lease deals. He doesn't want that. He wants to own. He wants to own. He wants the United States to own it. Therefore, Trump wants to own it himself. But the Greenlanders are saying no. And the interviews that are happening from overseas, and maybe through a few corporate, we're hearing Greenland saying no to Trump. Trump never likes hearing the word no. Because that goes against what's his will, his wants, his mental status is going crazy for. But the world's saying no to him. How is he going to respond to it? Does he have enough military force he wants to throw out people? And how do they feel about dealing with a gas bag who wants to put their lives in danger because of his own damn ego being hurt? See, as I said before, there's only two reasons why. In my knowledge of why we go to war, we need resources. And we're driven by ego. Greenland is by ego, and maybe by resources. Said before there could have been leasing deals, but it didn't happen, did it? No, we want to own outright. Trump wants that. He wants to prove to the world that he's the toughest leader around. Give me a fucking break, orange gas bag. Problem with his asshole. He's not getting it. He's not getting the point, and he's not getting Greenland. He's also setting his sights on Cuba. Cuba had been benefiting from Venezuelan oil. One of the last places that would keep that island nation going with gas. Trump wants to control everything in the northern to Central America region. He's already put South America on notice already. They're not happy with him either. But here's the thing. I hadn't discovered if South America had any military resources. But let's get a little beyond that one, shall we? Shall we? Okay. We have international competitions happening every year. Sometimes two, sometimes four. You've heard of the Olympics, right? Okay. Trump's already canceled out 75 visa. We're not talking about cards. We're talking about admissions into the country. He's canceled out 75 countries. They're on public record of people not able to come into the country. Isn't that going to be helping us out or hindering us a great deal when we can't get tourists coming over here? Or do we want the tourists? My question is, did we want the damn Olympics? But LA still wants it. We're set up for it. We're getting it. We already got the hoopla. We've already got our venues. We got our transportation systems being worked out even worse or further. We've got our merchandise being sold left and right. As soon as we got the word about it, these guys are going hog crazy on the shirts and hats and clothing and pins, memorabilia, memories. We have to spiff up and straighten up our city of Los Angeles. How are we going to be doing this on the ticket sales, I wonder? If we didn't have Trump in office, we wouldn't be having the immigration issues as we are having right now. We wouldn't be having the visa issues. But we have Trump pushing buttons left and right on everybody. Just who's going to be buying the damn tickets for the venues? Or the merchandise? Or let alone going through Los Angeles without feeling like ICE is ready to pounce on their ass. I mean, already ICE is pounding on people left and right, on the U.S. citizens. They're chasing people across roofs in Los Angeles. Construction workers were working on a roof project somewhere in Los Angeles. ICE decided to terrorize people. They didn't get the workers, but they terrorized them to the point where I don't know if the workers are coming back to finish the job. And that's a problem. We need these people. They're the lifeblood. We're a nation of immigrants. But apparently we're not so much. We're a nation supposed to be white people. Where white people are right people, and they're Christian, and they're right. And they hate people left and right because Christ would hate people left and right. He's supposed to be full of love. Well, he's DEI. He's wokeism. We need a Christ-like nation here. You hear the contradictions that we've got going on in this damn country of ours? They're even picking on the Native Americans. 3 people of one particular tribe has already been in ICE custody for a hell of a long while. And the Native Americans, our tribes, are pushing on ICE to get them back. Native Americans! We're talking about the indigenous. We are talking about the people who have been there that we've been pushing out of the country originally because of our European manifest destiny insanity going on. That we damn near put tribes into the non-existent level, to where we're damn near exterminated everybody. But we kept a few alive just to keep the tribes going and the stories going because it's still part of American history. We did that back in the 1800s, or actually late 1800s and 1900s, trying to realize our dumbass mistakes as dumbass white people with our European dumbass things going on. I'll say it again. European manifest destiny was dumbass. But that's what we have, isn't it? We can't stand differences. These schmucks keep forgetting things. But they don't. They hate because what is it with their hatred? They don't like differences? They don't like cultures? I love him. I live. I'm still trying to live in a land or in towns of culture. I'm living in the western area. This used to be Native American territory, and then we had the Spanish fucking things up. Then we had them turning the Native Americans into Mexicans. But they still had their own culture in this land. And we had to keep pushing these guys out. Or pushing them around. It's amazing what things you learn in history books. Talk to professors about what's going on. When you're a kid, you don't pay attention to history as much. You think it's just boring stuff. Well, until it becomes relevant down the line. When you get a lot older and then you realize and recognize and appreciate culture. I appreciated that. Didn't even realize it. But when you see elements of it gone, faded into history, I remember with fondness and with bitterness. There's postings I go on Facebook regarding the past of the San Fernando Valley and other places. And I talk about on there things that I've gone through myself. That added culture, that added awareness, that added something of this land that I still hold dear to me. I may not appreciate or actually feel comfortable in Mexico. I'm comfortable in my own area because I still have elements of that here. I still appreciate a good burrito and tacos, but not from Taco Bell as much. The smaller mom and pop places would be maybe a little more expensive, but good thick burritos and street tacos. I don't mind that stuff. If I wanted fast food, I'd probably have that. Hearing mariachi music every once in a while in the place adds culture and livens the place up a little bit. I'm not much into the street rap. I'm not much into R&B, that kind of music. I'll listen to it. Then I'm like, okay, well, that's your music. I can't deal with it. The old time of rock and roll of the old black bands back there in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Get older. Remember the rap stuff that they had, but also the good old R&Bs. Motown was living. Or how about when you did the big bands and you had band members were black and led their own orchestras. Cultures add things. They do. So when they started this DEI crap last year, this wokeism and trying to force people to think in one particular way, it's not happening in this country. Deep down inside, we still like diversity. We are part of diversity. We have immigrants coming in this country, making lives for themselves, and they're helping our country to grow, to be unique. But we're trying to be white. We're trying to be right and white power and all that sort of stuff. We got to get rid of the immigrants, all the diversity and wokeism. The Democrats, oh my God, left-winging, murderous victims. They're Democrats, they're murderers, they're thieves, they're cheats. We're special, but they're evil, and we must destroy them. We'll destroy people's careers in the process. We're right. We're righteous. Oh my God. No wonder everybody hates us. We hate ourselves, damn it. We hate ourselves in a royal way. And we've made the president into a royalty, actually. With all the history we got into the old buildings that we kept trying to preserve left and right. And one dumbass decision or leading up to the major dumbass decisions, I'm expecting our country to totally self-destruct and blow itself to hell. Or have somebody else blow it to hell. I'm expecting the White House to lose everything in one fell swoop. All the executive buildings with all the paintings and artwork and sculptures, including the White House, to be gone. Because the dumbass decisions made by greed, by ego, by bloodlust, by dumb shit thinking. Seeing our country and our history go to hell. I'm expecting the Smithsonian Institute's Library of Congress, archives that we have, gone to hell. I have people out there who are scared that we're going to get ourselves into a nuke fest. Me too. I want to live. But if we get into a nuke fest, I am not dealing with the lingering radiation. I want to be right there at ground zero. You're going to kill me with a nuke. Vaporize my ass for about a millisecond, so I don't have to feel a damn thing afterwards. Except a hell of a lot of shame and guilt that I didn't stop it. Or couldn't do a damn thing about it anyway. I want to see a bright, shiny future, but it's definitely not under a mushroom cloud. We're heading there. We're going to fight over rock and ice, and maybe some mineral chunks. We're going to be fighting over oil that is going to take decades to get processed from the ground, even though this country may be wealthy of it. We're going to strip it, suck it dry, flip the bird at them. Yeah, one guy gets labeled a pedophile, and he decides to say fuck you and flip people off. Then get himself into a damn headline and doesn't give a shit. He's probably going to hang that up as a portrait in his bedroom. But he wants to show people what kind of a tough guy he is. NATO and UN are shaking their heads at us. Our own damn pride and our own damn hubris. We're fucking ourselves up. You tell me what the fuck we're supposed to be doing at this point. How we're supposed to be thinking, how we're supposed to be feeling. I haven't got a fucking clue, except we're dealing with the same shit day after day after day.